Hey guys, Rose here with your Tuesday tips with Team Keller, where it is all about real estate. So last week we talked to you buyers out there about upfront costs as you go into purchasing a home, and one of them is your earnest money deposit. So after you go under contract, usually within 3 days of the executed date, you will have to put in your earnest money deposit, which is typically 2 to 5% of the sales price of the home. So for example, if the purchase price is $300,000, you can expect to put about $6,000 towards that earnest money deposit, just depending on the local market conditions and perhaps requirements of the sellers themselves. So what is the earnest money deposit? Well, basically it is telling the seller that you are absolutely committed to purchasing this home and to seeing the contract all the way through to closing. Now, who holds the earnest money deposit? So typically that's going to be the title company. It's a trusted third party. As I said, typically the title company, and they're going to hold it in escrow until closing. The title company is going to reach out to you with wire instructions. You can wire online these days. You can go to the bank. You always want to make sure that you do get confirmation of the wire instructions by calling the title company. And then the title company hangs on to that, like I said, until closing. That earnest money deposit is generally then put towards the down payment. Of course, that depends on your loan structure, but it would be down payment, closing costs, again, depending on your loan structure. So that's who holds it and what happens to it. Now, a lot of people are going to ask, can I lose my earnest money deposit? I'm really worried about that. Is that possible? Unfortunately, it is possible to lose your earnest money deposit. However, there are terms and conditions of the contract that protect that money. For example, with most contracts, there's going to be a home inspection contingency period that's generally 7 to 10 days, and it would be the first 7 to 10 days. And during that period, you get to inspect the house. So you get a full inspection. If anything comes up during that time, where you want to ask for a repair and you reach out to the sellers or the agent, listing agent. The listing agent goes to the sellers, they let them know what needs to be repaired. And if the seller says, you know what, I'm just not going to do that, then you as the buyer, during that contingency period, you get to walk away from the contract, cancel the contract, and you would get your earnest money deposit in that situation. There are a few other situations where your earnest money deposit is protected. So because it is a large sum of money, relatively large sum of money, and of course you don't want to lose any money for no reason, like not following the terms of the contract. What I'm going to say is the most important thing, and my tip every week is you have to work with a real estate agent who is experienced, knowledgeable, and who knows the terms and conditions of the contract and can help you adhere to them. So you guys know that you can find us at the TammyKellerTeam.com. You can always reach out to me directly. Would love to hear from you guys. And we're going to talk more next week about other costs involved and potentially a little bit more about the earnest money deposit, but definitely those other costs that are involved in the purchase process. So with that said, you guys have an awesome week, and I will speak to you next week.